So I'm going live. I don't know if this is recording. Let me see if it is. Hold on one second, guys. Just in case, I'm going to put my screen recorder on. That way I know that if the live isn't recording, that at least I am. Okay. You were telling your followers that you started live. Okay. In case anybody joins in. It's okay if no one joins in. Hello, I'm Aquarius Empress. I've got on my head covering today because my good friend, Spiritually Gifted, she also goes by Queen of Queendoms. She let me know that I've got to wear a head covering. I made the mistake and didn't do it. The last time I went live, I think it was on TikTok, and the rush of energy, the dreams afterwards, the evil eye even, like, just it all hit me. I'm very sensitive, and I put myself in that position to be spiritually sensitive because I want to be able to read for everyone. You know, this is dangerous work we do as readers. I'm gonna light my incense here, and I'm gonna do a collective reading. Let's just see how that goes. So, I will start with my Wider Wade out, never know how to say it, deck. I set up my backdrop here for October, for fall. I wanted to put leaves over the whole tree, but yeah, it's one leaf at a time, and I might have ran out of patience. You could call it my Aries moon, call it my Aquarius sun being a little too gumption ready, a little too ambitious. But I like what I did. It came out nice. But the purpose today, I was just feeling like Spirit was saying, go and do some collective readings. Your spirit. Ooh. Okay, I got my first card. Was feeling in the mood. First card. The Death card. Ooh. Let's see what's coming up. And this is a collective reading. I want to see how your month of October was going. Oh, got a card again. And it's going to go. Ooh. 5 of Wands. So in the recent past, we've got a couple of cards already. Ooh, 2 cards fell out together, so I'm going to put them together. 9 of Wands. Ooh. And the King of Pentacles. We're going to put that energy together because this is how it fell. And let's go ahead and pull one more card. One more card. Spirit, may I have one more card to talk to my friends here? I know, like, a lot of readers say collective, which I think is, you know, it's a good word. Articulate. It helped me to understand what they were talking about. You know, I've been reading for a long time, but I was never in on the social media, like, avenue of it. And I've learned over the last, just the quarantine, really, you know, how to articulate myself. But really, honestly, the collection of souls, the collective, we're all friends. We all act like we're strangers. We don't know each other. Stranger danger, whatever. But we all, a bunch of cards dumped out. Ooh, those two. Okay. We all are looking for the same thing. Acceptance, love. Bottom of the deck is 2 of Swords. So we'll keep that over here. And the 2 cards that jumped out, was the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Swords upside down. Fell out just like this. All right. But so come in, my friends, and let's read. Let's find out what's going on for your month of October. So we're already a week deep in October. This is October 7th when I'm recording it, but you never know when you're going to see it. Everything is timeless. So though I'm looking for the month of October, if there's something that means something to you and you pick this up and it's March, you know, of 2025, or who knows, it could be the October that's coming forward. It could be something about October that's significant for you for the month of March. You'll be able to make it work for you. That's how these readings work. That's how my readings work. So let's go. First card we got in the distant past, not so far past, would be maybe the end of September energy where Libra may have started going into October, is the Death card. For me, the Death card is not a super scary card, like indicating that people that you love are going to pass away or that you're going to pass away or something horrible. No. Death, which is how it should be looked at psychologically and emotionally and spiritually, is a time for letting go and transformation, because the energy that keeps us alive, the electricity that pumps our heart and the synapses in our brain, that energy never dies. It transfers. It transforms. And so when you have an emotional or a psychological or a spiritual death, you are not just dying and there's no more you. It's that you've let go of what was energetically your casing, your energetic body, your spiritual body, your emotional body casing, and you're transforming into something new. And most times it's something beautiful, or there wouldn't need to be a death. You could hold on to the past. But whatever it is, whether it's unsettling, uncomfortable, the beauty of it is that you get to be reborn and try new versions of yourself. You do not have to be stuck just because that's the way you were raised. That's where you were born. That's what you've always thought. That's what your mother always thought, your father always thought, your uncles. There was a transformative opportunity. It could have been chaos, but I learned that there's a Japanese word, I can't remember the word, but it means both chaos and opportunity in one word. So there was some sort of transformative opportunity that made things come to a stop and brought new things forward, and it was right side up. So that means you benefited from it. It's like the seedling leaving the seed casing. It was time. So I got things on my screen, Lord. Okay, so Death card also represents the number 13. If we look at the card, you'll see flowers, lilies, angels mourning, the person, the querent you, lying down in a restful position. You'll see a skeletal kind of angel at the top, angel of death. It could be just a reminder of this is the energy, let it be. You might see skeletons. There might have been an interaction with the skeleton, a introduction to an afterlife, a doula, death doula, some kind of connection that you have with understanding how life and death works. And, when you really look at the picture, they're not so much mourning. Also, they're also dressing and changing the querent, the individual, into the sacred gown. So just know if you've changed your wardrobe, changed your thought process, changed the way you do things, even if it's not on the physical, you really connect to this transformation. And now we're getting towards the present. This transformation led to you having an awakening about what poverty you had in your life. And, most times it's financial poverty, but it could be just a lack mentality. It could be emotional poverty, lack of patience. It could be spiritual poverty, a lack of faith, trust, vulnerability, the kind that is necessary. And it may have brought you into a feeling of, what am I supposed to do? I can't do this. Doubt, maybe even shame, worry, regret, just low vibrational emotions that are necessary. That's another term. People say low vibrational, and it's like in the world that I'm learning about since the quarantine, spiritual world, low vibrational. Okay, I just used it. So clearly it's a term that's important, but please understand that the low vibes are part of the unicycle or the wheel, merry-go-round, Ferris wheel, there it is, Ferris wheel of life. You have to go down in order to come back up. When you pull back an arrow, you have to pull it back in order for it to go forward. There's a centrifugal motion to life. And right now, you're at this place where you're down in your gut and you're really understanding what you need. If you didn't feel hungry, then you wouldn't eat. The point of the low vibrations and the low guttural senses of discomfort, dismay, is because, oh, I didn't realize I needed to eat. If I don't eat, I don't have fuel, I won't continue living, I won't prosper. These things were happening so that you could awaken to the idea that, wait a minute, there's more that I need. There's more that I'm responsible for. There's more that I need to pay attention to. And if it means seeking help, seeking refuge, resources, with it being right side up and right next to the death card, if you look, the similarities here, for me anyway, there's an archway, underneath that kind of angel of death, yellow archway, and then these, looks like 5 flowers. This is like a little animal, I think. And then, nope, that was another flower. But 5 flowers stood out. And then this way has an archway, and there's 5 coins. To me, the 5 flowers stood out. That's me. But I feel like that's Spirit's way of talking to me, to give you this reading, that the death that you went through, you may have woke up feeling fragile, upset, like, yes, everything changed. Like I said, it may be beautiful, but it could also be chaotic. Let's be real, we're human beings. And the chaos led you to have to reconcile your poverty. What am I actually hungry for? Who has to feed me? Because when we're babies, when we come out of this transformation state from being safe in the womb and out into the open, we are new to the world. And mother typically just innately is there and has milk, and we are drawn to the smell, the understanding of it, and we just drink and we feed for the first time, and we subdue that hunger. As you get older, mother isn't here to offer you milk. You have to figure out what's available. As a child, you make a sandwich, you learn how to make yourself a sandwich, but as an adult, you have to find an income. You have to find shelter. And whatever new realization you've come to in your life, you are also now responsible for your existence, which isn't a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing, but it can be a shock. We don't like talking about adulting, us adults. We don't like to talk about how much of it is frightening, how we're really these children walking around in adult bodies. And, we have to make decisions and be accountable for the decision that we make as soon as we make it. And, it's not the end of the world, but you may have felt the chaos of a certain awakening, and just know this is Spirit's way of saying it's okay. It was supposed to go just that way, just like how you were birthed from your mother, however that happened. You've been through this before. Breathe. Only this time, know there will be substance, because if there wasn't, you wouldn't be here right now. And if there wasn't going to be substance, you're not going to be where you're going to go. So this is only the middle of the reading. There's more cards, so you're not going to die. It's going to be okay. Now let's get to the future present. So I would say this is going to be within the next week to 2 weeks. That's when these 2 cards fell out. And even though this is, the King is overlapping the 9 of Wands, the way it came out was the 9 of Wands was first. So these 2 gentlemen are back to back in the pictures, right? One is in fine robes and is observing his wealth and treasure, and the other one is, battle scars and battle wounds, and is wounded and tired and languishing and kind of being propped up by a wand, and is looking at the other wands that I think he may have put together for some kind of battle-ready shelter, perhaps. And they couldn't be any more different from each other. But you don't get to be the king, I turned him around this way without going through a battle and proving yourself. And what I get from this, because if you look in the background, wow, look at that. If you look in the background, look at the king. He's got this castle in the background there. Here too. And then the Nine of Wands, there is also a castle. Again, I'm looking at all these details because Spirit wants me to see it. It's what's coming to my mind so I can read for you. There's a castle in his background too. And to me, it looks like, of course, it's the opposite side of the wall. The Nine of Wands is on the outside, and the King of Pentacles is on the inside of the kingdom. As you can see, this kind of lush, grassy, well-mowed area behind the king. And in the Nine of Wands, he's just roughing it out there in the scraggly cement and dirt of the world. He was on the outside looking in, and this king is on the inside looking out. And this is going to be in the next week or two. And let me say one more thing. The Nine of Wands is kind of reaching for his gut, his stomach. Either there's a wound there. Let me see if there's like some blurriness, but there's either a wound there or he's just reaching for his stomach innately because of his fatigue. It's kind of blurry. I tried my best to pull it up, but if you look at the king, he's risen his hand to his heart chakra. So we went from sacral and root chakra, basic necessities, basic, needs, on the hierarchy of needs, to elevation, heart chakra, higher wisdom. The king even has a halo around his head indicating his wealth and wreath and wisdom. www, gotta love it. And then the Nine of Wands has a bandage around his head. It keeps getting blurry. Why is that? All right, I guess Spirit don't want us to focus on the past. Just see it. You ain't got to focus on the details. But he's got a bandage, trust me, around his head, indicating his old wounds. The Nine of Wands is a card telling you that it is time to rest. That you have been a wounded warrior, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, or physically. And all parts of you need to rest. They need to rest. And you have won the battle. You did come out on top, but you may have lost a part of yourself from the trauma, from the post-traumatic stress. You have lost a sense of comfort and safety that you need to take the time to replenish through rest, not so much sleep. I learned that there are 7 different types of rest. And if I was a better teacher right now, I would know all 7. But if you look into it, to kind of paraphrase what I was reading, maybe Spirit was trying to, of course, prepare me for this reading. Tell me that these 7 different types of rest, whether it's, disengaging from your electronics, whether it's emotional rest, psychological rest, not taking on every attack. When somebody has something to say, people think maybe that's psychological rest. No, that's spiritual rest. When you get pissed off, that's not your psychological mind would analyze the situation and be like, I might kirk out. I might just sit here and stare at you. Who knows? Your spirit don't play with you. Spirit is here to guide you. And when somebody comes and tries to drop your spirit down, make you turn your feelings into a broken part of your spirit, and you feel a rage that's beyond just rage, like you really want to see them suffer, you throw that evil eye at them. Like, you don't got to lift hands when you're in a spiritual place. They're asking you to spiritually rest and say, don't throw that evil eye so quick. Don't breathe in that negativity, put your headrest on, or put your headrest, your head wrap on, headrest. Oh, okay. and relax. So this was, behind the King of Pentacles when it fell out. So this is the recent past. This is who's behind him. And it actually fell out like this. I just turned it around. So it makes it look like it's even farther back. It's behind him. And he's kind of turned his back on it. And when I did this, it was like he was focusing on it. But Spirit kept making the card blurry. So he's no longer focusing on where he was. And that's where you're going to be in 2 weeks. You're going to go from that, woe is me, I don't know what to do. And then you're going to pick yourself up and fight. And when you get through that war of finding the resources you need, you're assured. King of Pentacles, excuse me, blah, blah, blah. King of Pentacles is right here. And when you look at this card, he's studying. He's much older than the soldier in that last card. And to me, it indicates the kind of wisdom. I was just telling my daughter the other day that I've met some grown people who didn't have the sense of a 12-year-old. And I've met some 12-year-old children or people who have been through more than a 40-year-old adult. And I give them my respect. They've learned grace and value. And so this speaks to the aging of the spirit, of the emotions, of the knowledge. You are now a king, and you're not a faulty king, or it will be upside down. It's right side up. You pulled yourself out of that poverty mindset, poverty emotions, poverty spirit, and are looking over the value and the valuables of what you got, the treasure of your learning. And this is a guarantee that if you felt helpless and worried the beginning of this month, that you just didn't know what was going to happen, stay in the fight. Stay in the fight. These cards aren't upside down. And even upside down doesn't give you a green flag to quit. It ain't the red light to stop. Upside down means it's just going to be a little bit tougher because you're standing in your own way. So you're not standing in your way. You're going to fight. You're going to find your way from outside of the castle to owning it, being inside, ruling it. Have faith. And in the future, the last bit of October, now this could carry over, but I really think it's October because that's what I asked Spirit for. But I don't make the rules. The last two cards were the King of Swords reversed and the Ten of Pentacles right side up. And that Ten of Pentacles goes right along with that other king. But let's find out what's going on with this King of Swords upside down. So our King of Swords upside down. I should probably turn it right side up so you can look at it. But if we look, he's sitting on his throne. Unlike the King of Pentacles, who was standing surveying his treasures, he is seated because a rested mind is a well mind. And there's a butterfly to his left and a sword on his right. All left side represents the feminine side of anything, a feminine energy, and right representing the masculine. So his feminine and masculine energy are balanced, light and swift in their own, but it's upside down. So this is that Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, all air signs. And this person, because air signs are the signs of thought, mental power, mental constraint, genius, swiftness. Something's going on either with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius in your life, or you yourself are not finding it easy to be lighthearted. But one thing I know about these air signs when they're upside down, they can be unfair. They can be biting. They can be worried, anxious, anxiety-ridden. So if someone is coming to you out of pocket, there's an energy of intensity, of cruelty, or a type of anger that is not really based on like strength, but anger based on maybe bullying or, wanting to be cold and dangerous, psychological anger. Be forewarned that it's probably about money. It's probably about you coming into your wealth, you having a happy family, you visibly prospering. This air energy is, because this is also the sign of the eyes. You know, it's the internet. They're watching you, they're seeing you, they're hearing about you, and, you know, they ain't liking it. They ain't liking it at all. It did come out with the king over top of the pentacles. So there might be an air sign trying to block your wealth, or who is hiding wealth from you. That might be something you're entitled to, given that there's so many pentacles already here. They could be trying to block it. But if anything, they got stank energy. There's something unrequited, unhappy about the air signs in your life, or you may find yourself feeling anxious about your family, about your wealth, and I'm here to tell you, stop that. Let that go. Because like I said, reverse cards are not the end all, but they definitely means that that energy is making it harder than it has to be. So if it's your energy, you are making it harder than it has to be. Your mind is at a space where it could be absolutely clear. You just have to have faith. You have to believe when it's an air sign. Faith is harder. Faith is more of a fire sign thing. Air signs is belief, because of we know. You know, we know that is the air. And the air is knowledge. Belief is I believe because I know. You know, it's not always the right formula, but for some, that's how it works. So these two kings, one who's looming over the past of the mental instability, the wounded warrior, and the other king who's lamenting and angry or upset, worrisome over wealth. If these two kings represent both you, the first king, the King of Pentacles, he's earth sign. I forgot to mention that. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Very stable, very grounded, not easily moved, not easily swayed. This guy is happy and content with the work he's put in. This other king is ungrounded. He's upside down, and he's letting his thoughts run away with him, paranoia. But that Ten of Pentacles shows that there's something beautiful. There's a treasure. And so you can either choose to worry over your treasure, or you can choose to be content. Either way, the treasure is still going to be there. That Ten of Pentacles is right side up. So why worry? You going to get where you're getting. If you feel it coming on, breathe. That's what air signs do. They're the process of air, breathing. And if it's somebody else worried about your stuff, they're going to have to keep on worrying. So that's my little reading. I hope it helped. I thank everyone for tuning in. And like and share if you got people you love, you know. Hook us to stuff. All right. Bye-bye now.